We're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because somewhere around the world, that is truly what time it is. I'm your host, the dopest political analyst on the planet, and the most feared black, Hispanic, conservative candidate, well, former conservative candidate in United States history, Antone Tucker, Tony Montega, Tony X, Montega, aka The Truth, aka The Threat, aka Neo, aka Montega AMG. We're live in the building. We have a show for you guys today. Today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear and important to my heart. And that is prison reform. That's right. A lot of you out there, you are longtime followers, longtime supporters, hence the reason why you're still watching me now. Like I told you guys, man of my word, we're going to keep this content going. Shout out to everybody that's watching right now on Instagram. Shout out to the X Factor on Instagram that's watching right now. But for everybody that's watching here on YouTube, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear and it's important to me. And it's prison reform. There are some people who should remain in prison for the rest of their lives. Consequently, they're not going to put Joe Biden in jail forever. So, we have to worry about the scumbags that we come elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder with on a daily basis. But in this country, we have something called the Constitution. And you are, in fact, innocent of a crime until you have been found guilty of one. So even if you are incarcerated, no matter the crime, the case, you are an innocent person until you are convicted of the crime. Whether you like it or not, you cannot pick and choose. And this is what gets me like really like, kind of upset with people, because it's like people pick and choose what they want to follow from the Bible nowadays. And then people choose or pick and choose what they want to follow when it pertains to the Constitution. I constantly see a lot of people adapting an attitude of throwing people away. I do understand that there are people who are very heinous, and consequently, these pedophiles get out in 8 months. So the guys that's in there for smoking a joint or doing a line of cocaine isn't the worst thing that you have to worry about. Because the worst thing that you have to worry about are the people that are currently running this country. And outside of that are the pedophiles that they continue to release from prison and or give very low bails or give little to no prison time. These are the people that are truly creating a revolving door. But for the people that are there, they're supposed to be housed and held there until they have their day in court. Imagine being a parent and not hearing from your loved one, and then you have to go to the prison and you find out, well, they died here. And then you find out that there is like a dozen other people whose children died there too. And not people who are serial killers, pedophiles, not these people. No. People who are there on probation warrants, people who are there but they're due to be released. This is Harris County Jail in Houston, here in Houston. And the thing that really perplexes me is, I'm going to play little snippets from the loved ones. With all due respect to them, I'm really doing this because I want to expose what happened to these young men that were murdered and beat to death in this prison by these guards. But I have to teach the loved ones that are suffering who's responsible for it. Because literally, the woman that is partly to blame is standing right next to them. She gets on the mic and she literally tells them who she is and takes blame and responsibility. She stands up, this Dr. Candace Matthews. She stands up and she says that she's the vice of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide. And that the person responsible in Ed Gonzalez is someone that the Democrats got elected. She's standing right next to him, and I want to show her face when these people are crying. I want to show what this wig warrior looked like, because I want you to see this is what it is. Stop thinking that your color is going to save you, or somehow you have a kinship to someone because of that. You have a kinship to someone that want to see you live. You cannot continue to run around here and not align yourself with people that want you to live. Stop falling for the game. Stop falling for the manipulation. Stop allowing people to divide you. Today, Tony X is back. Now I'm gonna play this beautiful sister here, and I'm gonna let you hear.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity.
Oh no, it's the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on. What the blood clot dot? Okay, that's why I was the wrong one. I'll get to that. That's the last one. Let me play this. So this is the mother of Kevo, and she spoke already minutes into the press conference, and her story is they lied about her son's death. They lied and said that they moved him one place when in fact he was already dead and he was there. They doctored photos showing that they tried to give CPR to this young man when they didn't. He actually was due to come home, and it wasn't until after that he had said that in and around some guards that mysteriously this man was found dead in a cell, soaking wet. But I want you to hear her passion and conviction. Please humor me. And the reason why I care about this is because what you guys don't understand is that I was in prison for 6 years. 6 years. Not everybody who goes to prison goes back. My co-host, Dr. Dope, he did 10 years in prison. In fact, since we've been home, knock on some form of wood, papers, wood. Matter of fact, here, knock on wood. We haven't been arrested. The one time I have been arrested since I've been home was because I was defending myself. There are people who come home who have a better outlook, who want better for themselves. There are people who change their lives. They find God. They do better. So the idea is when you go to this place, yes, there will be criminals there who deserve to remain there, but there will be people there who need love, who need to be touched by God, who need to accept that there are consequences for their actions, because some people are brought up in a world of fictitious belief. They watch movies all day. They see the bad guy never really gets caught, or somehow he just slips out. The flat foot can't get him. But it doesn't work that way in the real world. It never does. Lack of education, resources, lack of education, resources, the major resource, fathers. But in this case, Kev's father is standing next to his mother. This is somebody who could have changed their life, decided to get into our military, defend our country. There's so many things that could have happened that it's not going to happen. Just humor me.
Floor at night. Kevin wasn't in the 1 or 2 cell. He was housed in the big cell where it was opening. Nobody seen nothing, supposedly, but I have some that's willing to talk, but I don't want to put them children in danger for their parents to get the same call saying that they left. They scared to say something because the guard, as they said, whooping their ass. But this one right here, Kevin Leon Smith Jr., Zydeco Kevo, gonna shake the world. This body right here is not gonna stop till we get justice. I want everybody that supposedly did CPR, everybody that supposedly transported them, the staff that was working that night.
Now, please listen to me. Family, the woman with the black hat on her head, the cowboy hat on her head, this is Dr. Candace Matthews. Now, I must go back now. I want you, as the camera pans out, I want you to pay attention to her disposition. I want you to pay attention to her body language. Look at the face, the guilt all over her body. Look at this.
Everybody that supposedly transported them, the staff that was working that night, the ones that watched the switchboard, I want camera footages for if I got the.
Did you see her look at her, awkwardly put her head down, and then kind of rock? That rock is a sign to give herself physical comfort. When you're watching someone's body language, listen, I've been doing this for a very long time. Okay, for a very long time. It's really my specialty to understand where you are physically as a threat. That way I can assess you and be able to pick you apart. And I can tell when someone isn't really violent, when someone will defend themselves, or when someone is just purely a piece of you know what. Miss Candace, respectfully, you looking like it right now. I'm looking at you there, holding yourself, trying to rock yourself together because you heard what this woman just said. They lied all about her baby boy's body. He died in the prison he was about to be released from. Now I want to let this other sister talk. I want y'all to look at the body language on this one. Yeah. Look at the body language on that one. Let me get this out of here because I don't want it to just pop up again. Let me get to the second sister.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Strain Barrett.
Miss Jacqueline Strange Barrett, I am deeply sorry for your loss. Deeply sorry for your loss. My sister, the person that everybody standing there need to be looking at is the person I'ma play after you finish speaking.
My husband was Gregory Bernard Barrett. He was actually here for a parole violation, but he had a parole hearing for September 3rd that had been reset for September 3rd. It had been reset twice. He died in the isolation cell. They actually put him in the isolation cell after they tested him for COVID. They put him in the isolation cell. I talked to him Friday morning. He told me, he gave me the symptoms. I told him what he had. Because I work for Harris County. I've been there for 28 years. They did not know that because it wasn't on the paperwork. They found that out Saturday morning when I walked in to check on him. That's when they found out, and they were shocked.
So now her husband was going there for parole violation. He was about to be re-released though, on his violation, and they didn't know that his wife actually worked for Harris County. When she walked in there, they were like, "Oh, listen to this."
The chaplain came out. She told me she needed to talk to me. She wanted me to put my things in a locker. She took me back, followed by a deputy or two, took me to a room and told me that they found my husband unresponsive in his cell. I said he wasn't in his cell because I'm now at Baker Street. Not at the new jail where he was at. She said they found him at 10-something. What happened in the time that he was put in an isolation cell at 11-something on Friday, he was not checked per the coroner. The coroner told me himself, the chief coroner, Dr. Wolf, told me that his core temperature was still high. He had a high temperature. He was not seen. From the time that he was put in that isolation cell on Friday at 11 a.m. until that.
Now this is an older gentleman, more advanced. He's gone. He's gone. He is gone. And now I'm gonna play something because I want you to hear something. See, the thing is, it's the devil's job to tell you he's the devil. It's the devil's job to tell you he's the devil. It's the devil's job to get you to walk off the cliff yourself. That's why doing them donut shots, they were censoring everybody, including here. That Cap 91 had everybody sitting there talking about they can't speak, or they can't, or this, that, and the third, and they can't talk about things. But they made you willingly go and put poison inside of you, killing yourself. The ritual doesn't work if you don't do it willingly. This has to be their power. This is their power. And now you turned on the Grammys, you've seen all of the satanic everything you can ever say you've seen in your lifetime. There was more satanic imagery on that last Grammy show than it has been on any other television show in history. They're celebrating. They're celebrating in front of our faces. And none of you black folk out there can sit there and tell me anything about Jay-Z, absolving him from any of this. I hope you don't think you can. Because you can't. You should know better. You know what we don't do? You know what we not cool with? The whole hood like, yo, what the is this dude doing? They looking at it like, yo, is this shit getting vomited on? They like, yo, is that a cut up salami talking with bleached hair? They looking at all of the weirdness. And they're saying, man, this ain't us. This ain't it. But them people are celebrating in your face. Major victory. Major victory. So the devil appears right next to these sisters, looking like a sister, in her best wig warrior getup, saying absolutely nothing. Because after I heard her say who she was, what she was responsible for, and who's responsible for it, I heard blah, 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 blah afterwards. I was repulsed. Because all I continuously see is black folks getting that check to knock off of the black folks. If she is the vice or whatever the case may be, why they ain't been going to that jail and handle that business? So the first time she's stepping in front of that jail is when all of these black men is getting beat to death inside of it? It should have been fixed before they put Ed Gonzalez in there. Or she should have put Ed Gonzalez in there with the terms of fixing the jail. But she proudly stands there and tell you that she's part of the Texas Coalition of Black State Democrats. My ass! Ain't no coalition or nothing. It's a bunch of grifters. I hold the same disdain for the clowns on the right doing the same thing. Now let me play the devil for you, because the devil's in the detail. Let's get the wig warrior up here. Hashtag wig warrior, not on here. Go to my Instagram and hashtag wig warrior. Some people won't get it. They won't even understand. They're going to call you, you're a racist. Be proud. This is a wig warrior. This is a talking with a mouth full of food, disgusting long ass nails, improper hygiene. This is it right here. I don't care who with her. Because every one of them brothers would be alive right now had you sent Ed Gonzalez in there with some work to do. The one thing I keep telling men that I'm starting to talk to and I'm starting to mentor is, if you are the man in your house, everything is your motherfucking fault. Everything. Everything. When the team wins, it's your fault. When the team loses, it's your fault. When a woman says, I completely give you the will, motherfucker, everything is your fault. The wins and the losses. So as a woman, When you tell me you take the wheel, you stand up and you say, I am such and such and so and so and ooh, then you motherfucking at fault. Now you see my logic? When you want to wear that hat you got on your head right here, then I'm going to make sure I call you what you're supposed to be called. At fault. And shout out to the brother behind her because he's always doing great work. There's nothing I got to say about the big homie behind her. The big homie behind her, respectful to everybody, trying to get a sister a chance, but he don't have any political sides whatsoever. He just wants what's done in fairness. He just wants everyone to follow the Constitution, and he wants black folks to actually have people that's going to represent them. I'm going to just see it for what it is, and I'm going to just call it out. Let me let the devil say what she got to say.
The vice chair for the Texas Coalition of Black.
Real, nigga. We know this. We know. Then my brother, on top of that, my brother, 2.5 weeks before that, my brother passed. Then my son, before that, my brother passed. Never met.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity of the vice chair for the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide. Ed Gonzalez is one of our candidates that we.
Oh man, I gotta blow this up. This is just too important for me not to blow up on the screen. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta offend y'all with some of the ugly truth. I'm about to just let this here, cause I gotta break down the facial. I gotta be in it some way. I don't want nobody try to call. You know what? This is news. They can't call anything on it. Let me break this up. I need to bring this up so you can see. Attack of the Wig Warriors. Okay, look. I need you guys to understand something. Look at this, man. Look at this. Listen to this.
Dr. Matthews.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in.
All right. She said, oh, okay. Now, when you listen to this, oh, okay. He said, before I say anything, I'm going to let Dr. Matthews speak. She said, oh, okay. Now, what you have to understand is that I speak. I go through speaking engagements. And when I speak, I'm telling you, I'm ready to go, right? From her disposition, her head down, the way she's walking, anyone that feels virtuous would have their head up. They would have their head up. They will be walking to the mic with their heads up, and they will be looking at the people in the audience and the cameras in the audience because they would have nothing to be shamed of. When people have to speak and they have their heads down, when they're going to address someone, they're doing that in a way that's telling you it's a submission. Why would she submit her head down like that? Her body language is telling you she doesn't want the task. Listen to what's said. Quick.
All right.
I just saw the Gary pass by. Never made it back.
In the infirmary.
Dr. Matthews.
You heard that?
All
Look.
right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in.
He never
Hold on.
met.
In the infirmary.
Listen.
He went in the form. He dead. Before I say something about Dr. Matthews.
Oh, okay. Look.
Before I say something about Dr. Matthews.
Hold on.
Say something about Dr. Matthews. Before I say something about Dr.
Listen.
Matthews. Before I say something about Dr. Matthews.
Oh,
Before I say
okay.
something about Dr. Matthews.
Listen.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews.
Oh, okay. Now, when she starts her conversation, she starts off with all right, I'm Dr. Candace all right. Meaning, all right, let's just do it. It's time. Let's just do it. Because all the energy around her, all the people around her, don't really understand what she said. Everybody around her don't understand what she said. They don't understand what she said, but I understand what she said now. She said she didn't want this task. She said she did not want to walk over there to that mic to speak. Too difficult.
Matthews, I'm in the capacity of the vice chair for.
I'm in the capacity of the vice chair. Not I am acting as or the vice chair. I'm in the capacity as the vice chair. So she's trying to give herself some form of distance
For the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats.
of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats who ain't doing shit for black folks. Because if they doing that in that jail, they've been doing it in that jail.
Statewide, Ed Gonzalez is one of our candidates that we endorse, and
Whoa. Ed Gonzalez is one of the candidates. Now, look at the disposition again. She ain't want to tell y'all that. There's some shit she ain't want to tell, but she had to say it because if it come out later, it's going to bite her. It's going to bite her in the warrior wig. Listen.
all right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity of the vice chair for the Texas candidates that we endorse. Ed Gonzalez is one of our
Look at her face.
Ed Gonzalez is one of our
Look at her face.
Gonzalez is one of our candidates.
Look at her face.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity of the vice chair for the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide. Ed Gonzalez is one of our. All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity of the vice chair.
Look at her face. She don't even want to be there. She's not comfortable. When she says his name, she rolls her fucking eyes. She is not comfortable. Look at the frown on her face right now on the still. Ed Gonzalez is what? What is Ed Gonzalez? One of ours? You put him there. You did this. All the people around you are suffering, their families are suffering, and you did this shit. You did this. That jail been messed up. It been like that. You send them in there with no work. Cushy job. Do absolutely nothing. While the black boys stay getting their ass whipped in there. Look at her face.
For the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide, Ed Gonzalez is one of our candidates that we endorse, and we also will hold him accountable to ensure that this atrocity is being handled correctly.
How do you hold them accountable? So far, there's 2 dead men that you know of, that we all know of together. How do you hold him accountable for that? You do not have the capability to hold him accountable for a life. For those that are watching on Instagram, you need to go to my YouTube channel to watch what is on the screen. How do you hold him accountable when you lack the capability of incarcerating him? I'm telling you to watch her face because there's no sorrow in it. She has an attitude. The attitude is because she has to stand in front of everyone and she has to be the one to tell you that she is Dr. Candace Matthews of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide that did absolutely nothing to protect those young men that are in that jail. And then to take blame for it, but then say that they're going to fix it. She said, and we're going to hold him accountable to make sure that nothing like this happens again, or whatever it is that they say, because it's always the same shit. And nothing happens to fix it. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay American. And remember, you got to watch both sides, the right and the left, because they 2 dirty wings on the same dirty, dirty bird. Here we preaching constitutionalism. Here we preaching unity. And here we making men strong, better men.